Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start this video off with Mr. Olympia Hadi Choopan. Hadi has been posting up quite a bit of updates lately, and I've heard a few people say that Hadi is sending a message to all of the Pittsburgh Pro guest posers. Now, I cannot confirm or deny that, but Hadi is working very hard going into this year's Olympia, and under the guidance of Hani Rambod, I can only guess he's going to improve even more, and it's very hard to beat an improved Mr. Olympia. Now let's switch over to Nick Walker, who recently posted up some freaky updates. Where do you guys stand right now as far as your thoughts on Nick Walker? He placed second to Samson Dowda at the Arnold Classic. Can Nick Walker possibly beat Samson at this year's Olympia? Or is Samson's structure just too much for Nick Walker? Personally, I would like to say that Nick can still beat Samson. I think Nick can beat or match him in 7 out of the 8 mandatory poses. Pretty much every shot except for the front lat spread. But as we just seen at the Arnold Classic, it isn't always about conditioning. It isn't always about who has the best back. Sometimes it's about who has the best structure. So let me know in the comment section below, guys. Can Nick Walker still beat Samson Dowda? Or has Samson surpassed Nick and his structure is just too much? And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from the boogeyman, Blessing Awodibu. Blessing is 10 weeks out from the Chicago Pro, and he will also be competing in Texas and Tampa. Blessing is going for 3 pro wins this season. And this is possibly the best I've ever seen this guy look. Take a look at the upper body in this front double bicep. World class. Really reminds me of Brandon Curry. World class upper body, but just doesn't have the legs to match. I'm starting to wonder, will Blessing ever be able to bring his legs up? But truthfully, I'm hoping for the best. I've mentioned this before, but Blessing brought a crazy package to the Indy Pro. If he's able to come in great condition, I believe he can really shake some things up. Now, beating Andrew Jack or Hunter Labrada is a bit far-fetched, but I believe Blessing can definitely have a respectable showing. And let's switch over to Justin Shier, who should also be at the Chicago Pro. Justin took an entire year off to grow into the open division, and comparing him to his past self, he has definitely improved. But in 2023, I think Justin is still going to need a little bit more size to be competitive, and there's nothing against him at all. Michael Krizo has insane genetics, and he isn't even in the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. But I could be wrong. It's possible that Justin comes into the Chicago Pro and wins the entire show. But as of right now, Blessing Awodibu is my favorite. I don't think Justin has enough to beat Blessing yet. Now let's switch over to Martin Fitzwater, who recently posted up some updates. And Martin has been fairly quiet since last year's Texas Pro and Arnold Classic UK, where he took 2nd and 4th place respectively. Now Martin said he's going to take about a year or 2 off to grow, because that was his feedback from the judges constantly. Martin wants to come back onto the stage and dominate, similar to Quinn Naraya. But both of those guys are putting a lot of pressure on themselves, because once they finally come back, everyone is going to be expecting extreme improvements, and we're going to be expecting them to dominate. But hopefully Martin can make some great improvements over the next year or so. I believe this guy has a lot of potential. Now let's switch over to Tonio Burton. This guy is posting up so many updates. 3D, bubbly, round, as usual. Now 2 critiques I could give Tonio. He does need a bigger chest, and usually guys that have huge arms, huge delts, normally need a bigger chest. Of course, this isn't something that Tonio can work on going into this show, but it was pretty glaring in this update, so I had to mention it. And also, Tonio could use more ab separation. I remember a few months ago, he said he doesn't train abs at all. Hopefully, he has started training abs, because that would make a huge difference in his physique. But Tonio is my favorite to win this New York Pro. Now, let's switch over to Keone Pearson, who recently posted up some updates. And things are looking very good for Keone this year. And outside of conditioning and maybe muscle maturity, Keone only really has one flaw, and that's the structure of his abs. But of course, that's genetic, and there's nothing he can really do about that. Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath also had very similar ab structures to Keone Pearson. But I'm looking forward to seeing what him and Patrick Tour are going to be able to do this season. Keone's first stop is going to be the Texas Pro. Hopefully he wins that, and the next stop is going to be the Mr. Olympia. Will he land in that top 3 this year? And let's switch over to Kerrith Bajjo, who recently posted up an update. And if I'm not mistaken, Kerrith should also be at that Texas Pro. I'm going to have to double check that. But first stop for Kerrith is going to be the New York Pro this weekend, and I would say he is the heavy favorite to win. It looks like Kerrith is getting better with every single update. I would say right now, it looks like he's at his all-time best. And he looks a little bit flat right here. So imagine how this physique is going to look once he carbs up. The conditioning and the muscle maturity that this guy has is just next level. Hopefully he continues to improve over the course of the year. Now let's switch over to Angel Calderon. Kerrith Bajjo, Keone Pearson, both of those guys are eyeing Sean Clarita, eyeing that 212 title. but they have to get past Angel Calderon first. And this guy has already started prep for the Mr. Olympia. I'm pretty sure he may be the only guy that's already prepping for the show. This guy's really coming for that title. A lot of us didn't expect him to play second last year. Honestly, I don't think anyone even had Angel Calderon in the top 3, but he definitely brought it and it was well deserved. Watch out for this guy. And let's switch over to Ramon Dino, our 2023 Arnold Classic champion. And Ramon is reported to be 30 pounds above his stage weight right now. I'm not really surprised about that. Ramon is usually about that much above his stage weight, if not even more. But take a look at the conditioning of this guy. I'm not saying that Ramon Dino should go to open, but to be 30 pounds above the weight cap, this guy's in pretty good condition. But I've already said before, I believe the classic physique weight caps are holding back a lot of those athletes. They can't really improve because most of the guys hit the weight cap within the first few years, so they can't really do anything except for redistribute the weight. Like, I'm gonna try to make my back less thick and I'm gonna try to add some thickness to the legs. I think the whole situation is a little bit crazy. Maybe one day we'll go into depth about that. But back to Ramon Dino, similar to what I said about Andrew Jack, almost every update I see of this guy, he looks more impressive. Looking forward to seeing him at the Olympia. Now let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. And you guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Christian from GOAT Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.